Men. Listen up. Be thankful you can be content with what you've got. Women will always want more. Be thankful you can have great friends without being backstabbed. Be thankful you won't be drafted into the military because you have a choice. Work hard on your own hobbies because you don't need to look after complaining women anymore. And remember to smile and be happy because women hate that the most. We all know that marriages mostly lose their charm and value over time. With more and more women showing their true colors, men have also become wary of women and how they manipulate men into marriages only so that they can live off of their resources as they monkey branch from one guy to the other. But the main reason marriages are increasing without any intimacy is because women don't want to be women anymore. There. I said it. Women want to take over the gender role of men and want to act masculine in order to assume authority, based on lies perpetuated by the woke feminist ideology. We can observe a transformational shift in the relationships between men and women as the dating scene evolves over time. With COVID-19 affecting all of us in the past couple of years, driving us to retreat into our homes and rooms, forcing us to separate ourselves and not contact with people in the actual world, this environment has also changed and transformed. Solitude and loneliness are just like any other type of pain out there. Get branded with it enough times and you either stop feeling it altogether or the pain is so minimal that it becomes easy to ignore. Keep growing stronger, gentlemen. It's the only way to survive in this insane clown world of ours. The key takeaway is that people will occasionally find a way to make things work in their favor through interpersonal contact. But that was a one-time thing. Most people, particularly men, were compelled to just use dating apps. Nevertheless, do you know what the worst aspect of dating apps for men is? Online dating is designed to undermine men's self-worth. This is due to the fact that women have always had an advantage on dating apps and social networking sites. Also, I have covered this in several of our earlier videos. The economics of dating apps like Tinder run on a skewed demand and supply, with incredible demand for women and a high supply of men. So, with a very low supply of men, women wield a lot of power online because they're in the driving seat with the ability to choose from thousands of guys per one girl. It is comparable to economics. Dating app supply and demand favor women because of a very high demand of women. Most internet dating was carried out in the same way it had always been a few years ago. On websites like OkCupid, eHarmony, or others of a similar nature, women would advertise and would subsequently receive hundreds of messages from males. Among the dozens or hundreds of women they contacted, guys would be lucky to get even one response. To connect and get the chance to speak with a lady in this scenario, the males would need to exert all of their efforts. Women adore attention, and we all know that. The key elements of what I like to call Dating 2.0, which was published a few years ago, are Tinder and, to a lesser extent, Hot or Not. Neither men nor women are needed to set up online dating profiles with this new style of dating. They both simply swipe left for people they don't like and right for people they do. Guys are once again succeeding in showering women with attention, since most of them close their eyes and swipe to the right to increase the number of ladies they can choose from. Most guys will also swipe to the right when they see an ugly or unattractive woman, especially if she rates a 3, 4, or below on the attractiveness scale. Men and women use online dating the best they can. I just read an article that claimed most men swipe right when they see a woman, so I decided to put this hypothesis to the test by doing the same on Tinder to see what results I would get. And sure enough, some of the chubbiest, least attractive women I had ever seen responded. When I used my old technique, which involved exclusively swiping right on women I believed to be incredibly gorgeous, I only ever got 3 or 4 matches despite having swiped at least 50 women. So, it's the standard match percentage that men typically have, but if they swipe right on every woman they see, they have a wider selection of options. With women, it is the exact opposite. They simply publish their profile, unwind, and let the swipes stroke their egos one at a time. It's crucial to realize that in online dating, women don't actually respond to your complete profile. If you fit the criteria they have for the kind of guys they're looking for, they'll react. Swiping right works for everyone. For example, if you are a certain height, properly dressed, or appear to have traveled, they will swipe right. Only if you check off all the appropriate boxes will women respond. Also, I can only assume that women in their mid to late 30s who are obese, lack fashion sense, or simply don't have fascinating personalities will also swipe right on every man. They are at the bottom of the market for female intimacy. If they're still having trouble finding someone, they switch to other dating services that are only open to those who have become completely cut off from society due to technology. Women typically have brief bios on their dating profiles, and they frequently use the same material on both platforms. Typical characteristics like their love of animals and dislike of one-night hookups are included in their descriptions. If you bring that value, women will shift their perspective on dating since they naturally desire guys to have value. Strangely, though, these women would be more than happy to have one-night stands with an attractive male who satisfied all of their criteria. To have the chance for a passionate affair with someone they find alluring and hot, they would put aside all of their so-called convictions and lose their sense of morality. If you decided to go your own way and take the red pill, that's a separate thing, and I totally respect that because I know you don't hate women. You just want to focus on yourself and live a better life that you feel you can without women in your equation. But if you choose to become an incel, then you really need to reconsider, because that's just another form of degeneracy. You're acting exactly like a woke extreme feminist who hates on guys all day long, and then wonders why there's no happiness and intimacy in your life. The primary method of avoiding becoming that extreme is to interact with women, meet more women, date more women, understand their points of view, and live a healthier lifestyle. Listen, you can't just start hating on a whole gender just because you couldn't or haven't really had the chance to spend time with them. I know that it's a horrible dent in a guy's self-esteem if all he ever receives is left swipes and ignored messages from women. And now, I'll tell you about a study I came across that said, if things don't change soon, a whole generation and perhaps generations to come will have men who will never experience intimacy with a woman, and will end up with extreme views such as those found in incels. Extreme gender narratives can be dangerous for men. The study, which looked into online dating and dating in the post-coronavirus era, was carried out at a prestigious U.S. institution. It was mentioned that there will be a whole generation of men who will not treat women favorably, as there is an increasing number of guys who are not having intimacy, especially those who are classified as being between the ages of 19 and 30. This will give rise to a variety of radical ideologies, some of which we are now seeing. These beliefs will widen the gaps between the genders and the groups that have developed inside them over the past 10 years. Only the men and women who are the true players in the dating game will determine what happens next. We might have a sense of normalcy in how dating will proceed in the future if more men can view this in a larger context and seek more women without demeaning them, and if women recognize where men are coming from and give them a chance. Women need to be women, and men need to act like men if society wants the idea of a marriage to work. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. But still, with all that's said and done, there's still hope left. The older female generation was raised by mothers who had no freedom or power, and because of this, the millennial generation has become obsessed with freedom. Since the new generation is being raised with freedom, they will learn that too much freedom is of no good, and the idea of a nuclear family will reset. Both females and males will find a balance and appreciate what each brings to the relationship, instead of comparing and requiring 50-50. I hope we heal. I hope men live better lives. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.